The deadline in this sector for voluntary presentation at the experimental center is 6 o'clock.
You're supposed to be an artist. Use your imagination.
Oh, thanks a lot. I'm all out.
What's happening, everybody? It's your boy, Sheldon J. Think About It Radio in the building. One more again. Man, I got another great interview lined up for you tonight. You know we gonna do it. We're gonna do it right. We're gonna do it all night. Can you dig it? I got my boy on the phone, Mr. DJ Heavluv. Let the people know about yourself, my brother.
What it is, fam? It's all what's going on.
It's going down, man. It's going down. How you feeling today, my brother?
Oh, man, I'm blessed. Just in here getting ready for, run this thing down for the night. You know how we do. 7 days a week, we don't sleep.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You sleep when you die, right?
Exactly.
That's my philosophy, my brother. They say resting for a reason.
Right.
Yeah, I can dig it, man. So you got a lot of initiatives going on right now. A lot of things you're doing right now. Let the people know what you're up to, my brother.
Well, right now I'm just socializing We Talk Radio. I'm doing a little thing over there, program director for the station. Also host for several shows, co-host for other shows. Just, getting in for We Talk Radio. Recently signed up with my boy King Scratch and True West Entertainment. So, we looking out for mixtape to drop the first of the year.
All right.
With them, you know what I'm saying? So we just doing a little work, still networking with different artists around the world, globally. People in Ghana, Banjo Wide, Kobe Stone, Pressure Boys, big ups to them guys. They show much love.
That's what's
Queen
up.
B. Bianca and over in the UK. She's in the UK. You can look her up, Bianca. Queen B, she's over in the UK. Very nice artist. I've been, dealing with her lately. Just, reaching out. I'm just reaching out to all my people. I try to reach out to everybody.
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. I like that. I like that about you, though, man. I said we go way back, right? So
right.
You've been about connection, networking, putting people together, putting some positive things in the mix. So that's what I always admire that about you.
I appreciate it, I always believed in unity. You know what I'm saying? And,
yes, sir.
It's kind of a lot of the problem with, the world today is the lack of unity, especially in our community. So, it's a hard feat, but, not everybody's with it.
What do you think the solution to that is, the lack of unity?
It's going to take, first and foremost, you have to build a confidence to trust,
Mm-hmm.
And because, you're going to run into people that's going to, misuse your trust and go behind you and do things or try to knock you out of what you're doing so they can get the spotlight. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Even in that, you have to be able to still stand firm and know that your purpose is different from what they see.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, I feel like what we first got to learn how to trust again.
Interesting you say that.
Each other. Back in the days, the man's word was his bond.
Yeah. Yeah, you're definitely right. Way before credit scores, it was a handshake.
Right.
You did what you said you was going to do. And if you didn't do it, we just come get our stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, times are a lot different right now. You're right about that. So what do you think broke that trust, though, man? Like amongst the community to where there's such a lack of trust. What do you think, like some of the things that caused that?
Honestly, I believe a lot of it is from the lack of education because a lot of agreements that were made without the proper education, knowing the proper situation. So, my thing would be whatever it is you're entailed in doing, get a full education behind it as it's into making it work for you. Because when you run across these people in business, they're not going to give you that edge that they got to get where they're at, because they want to keep you where they are, where you are, so that they can keep being where they are.
Right. You got bosses and you have employees.
Right.
Some people are born to be bosses. Some people are born to be employees.
Right. Not everybody can handle being a boss.
No. Because you're not just managing the particular task or the particular company. You managing attitudes. You managing emotions. You managing all kind of stuff, man. So you got to be diverse as a person anyway, right? To deal with all that stuff that come with what boss stuff is.
That's right. You definitely do.
Yeah, it's more than a song and a catchy tune. You know, to be a boss, like I said, to be a boss, sometimes you got to take some losses too.
That's right. You know, and every business owner knows that. You know, there are ups and there are downs. That's why they do their business in quarter seasons.
Yes, sir.
You know, because 2 seasons are good, 2 seasons are bad.
Yeah. I mean,
you know,
I think anything though, man, it takes planning, right? It takes planning. Even with the lack of trust you said that community has, that's planned, man. That took planning to pull that off, because you hear that amongst a bunch of people when it come to business, when it come to, hey, let's get together and try to do something positive. You hear that same thing, lack of trust.
Right. And,
no matter what city you're in.
It's so sad that, you know, these days, you know, the individuals are not holding up to their word, and it's clinically, so to speak, something that is going to happen, because not everything you say you're going to do, you can do. You know, it's not that you can't do, but other obstacles in life come apart that play a part in the reason why you didn't get to, you know, fulfill that task.
Very true.
And you know, people look at you for that one way. You know, you say you're going to do this here, but when the time comes, you don't want to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's just a biting down of people really just taking focus on what they set up and following a schedule. You know, networking is one of the greatest tools that we have. They have allowed us to have is networking.
Indeed. I love it, man.
Because as individuals who believe in entrepreneurship, that is the key thing to your business, is being able to network, meet new people. You know, standing out on a limb, you know.
And then also continuing that effort, right? Like Mattress Mac on television, right? He sells mattresses. Been on television for years, right? Still does commercial. Still selling equipment. Why? He doesn't have to.
Right.
But it's still a grind. It's still, again, that's something that's a part of him. So that, what he does, is not work, right? That's just a part of feeding his business that he's already got established. He's not satisfied.
Right.
Yeah, never being satisfied. That's another key.
That's the thing about it. And see, in the business that he's in, he's never going to be satisfied. Why? Because his motto is, he wants to make sure you get the better deal.
I guarantee.
But he cannot always do that at all times.
Very true. That would make him perfect, and nobody's that, right?
Right.
Yeah, that becomes the issue, though, man. So with the DJing, right, with the communicating, with the networking, things of that nature, what made you say, you know what, I want to start DJing, I want to start networking? You start seeing started really seeing the value in people. Well, I mean, when did you get to that particular point in life?
Well, it started for me at an early age. You know, I realized how music brought people together.
Yes, sir.
And in a lot of cases, you know, it was all, you know, through my life, you know, of music. You know, there were happy moments, there were sad moments. You know, music came together through grieving moments, through financial struggles, emotional struggles. You know, spiritual struggles. Music was always there for me.
It was a constant.
So I used it to meet different people in, you know, different areas. It allowed me to just go different places and meet, you know, so many different people. You know, to be able to just, you know, be relevant. You know, it wasn't. Let me take it back. It wasn't so much of being relevant for me. because I love music.
Right.
I did it for the fun of music. It wasn't a business to me. Music was always my hobby. The DJ name was a title that they just, say that you needed to state who you are. Because for years I was just anonymous, and everybody was trying to figure out who I was.
I get that. I remember that.
But, I'm just thankful that, God saw something in me to where he gave me an inkling of listening to music that satisfies me.
Right.
And I tell everybody, I don't consider myself the best DJ. I'm not the best. But I done stood by some people that are classified as the best, And
you hung with them.
I always leave my mind open to learn.
That's the key. Steady
That-
want to learn more.
That's the whole key to it. So, and even at this moment, after doing it for so long, I still feel that I'm not professional.
Mm-hmm. You steady hungry though, man. You steady
Right.
striving, grinding, reaching, right?
Right.
I think that drives people though. You have to have something that makes you say every day, this is what I'm focused on. Now it's going to be other little stuff that may pop up, but for the most part, this is what I'm focused on. This is what I'm trying to pull off every single day, man. Drive.
Right.
That's important. And I think that's going to propel you in what you're doing because, again, dealing with the public, networking, DJing, you got good attitudes, you got bad attitudes that you deal with, but at the same time, you know why you get up every morning and do what you do. So That's the same you through that other stuff.
And, the thing about it, that a lot of people go through life, and I be on Facebook. Everybody know me. You know what I'm saying? I share the bad. I talk bad, all of that.
Yeah.
But the reason why is because it's to let people know, regardless of who you are, you go through things. You know what I'm saying? So
sure as you wake up every
a
morning.
lot of them get on these social medias and create images that they are not.
Right. That's what happens.
Because you can be anybody you want to be.
Oh, yeah. Man, you can be Superman on that bad boy.
When you get on there and be yourself, nobody wants activity on your page. Nobody comments on any of your stuff, or it's hard to get people to even share a post of something meaningful. You know
because
what I'm saying?
That go against what they want.
Yeah. If it's not advantageous to them,
right,
they don't want to take part in it. When I started with We Talk Radio over a year ago, they had 4 shows a week.
4.
When I started, I immediately started doing 24-hour shows 7 days a week.
Just grind.
And it was only to battle with a condition in which I, suffer from.
Right.
So, for me, it was an outlet.
Right.
To stay focused. So that's what I use it for.
Yeah. So
never as a job. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? People say you working with. I'm not working. I'm using my mind.
Exactly. God-given mind. That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
You're not wasting it. You're actually using it for a purpose.
But at the same time, you got to understand, I'm learning the entity of a business.
True.
How it runs, how this should go like this. What can I do to make this better so that it could be this? You know what I'm saying?
Soaking it up.
That's the analyzations that I go through on a daily basis.
That's good. That's soaking it up, man. And you steady learning your craft, and no matter how much you learn, you can still learn more. And you will learn more even with doing it every day.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the beautiful thing about it, though, man. I mean, just building. It's like when you get something, you can just steady add to it and learn more, challenge your mind. Now, you could have sit back and wallowed in your condition. Well, I have a condition, but you took that and you thrived. You invested that time and energy into building something that you're passionate about anyway.
Right.
It's a win-win situation.
Yeah, it's a blessing, man.
Yeah,
so,
that's good.
I'm thankful for all my faults.
Oh,
and
man,
thankful for everything, everybody that's ever stood behind me, pushed me, even